What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is Basketball Wives Season 8, Episode 14. We are in Costa Rica. You know, for these reality shows, we have to do the annual trip abroad somewhere. So we are in Costa Rica this time. Supposedly, we're here to help Shawnee scout out some boutique hotels, but y'all know what it really is. So, everybody went except for Jennifer. Remember last week they decided that Jennifer wasn't going to be invited to go. But hell, for all that they got going on, they might as well have invited Jennifer. But Shawnee kept that same style that they sort of had in San Diego, where she has two. She has her suite, which is like the presidential, the main house, and then there's sort of a guest house situation. So Jackie, Cece, and OG are in the guest house. Phoebe, Evelyn, Malaysia, and Shawnee, of course, and Kristen are in the main house. And of course, we know that there are issues. Everybody got issues with everybody. So they get there the first night. They finally get there. Look like they had to do a whole lot of, planes, trains, and automobiles to get to the spot. But they get there. It's beautiful. It's very scenic. They have a volcano as their backdrop. I would have some questions about the volcano. When was the last time it erupted? Is it active? What are the scientists saying? What are the predictions on the next eruption? I'm just saying, I would have some questions, but it's beautiful to look at. They're going to have dinner the first night. And of course, the ladies are having their own little private conversations about who's going to get along with who and what's going to go on with what. And, of course, Phoebe is like, look, before I can deal with Jackie, I gotta get my drink on before Jackie comes up and through here, because I don't want to deal with her. But Malaysia is the one that give it to him. Malaysia got this whole, she called Jackie old face Junko, meaning she got an old face, but she act young though, which was actually kind of cute and clever. But okay, I see you, Malaysia, with the shade coming through with a little bit of the such and such. So now back over to the little guest house. The ladies ain't really feeling it. They even flipped a coin to see if they were even going to come to dinner, honey. But of course, it landed on heads, and heads was we going to go to the dinner. They was going to the dinner. And it is the sky has erupted, okay? And everybody is talking about that as an omen for things to come, honey, that the sky has opened up and erupted. Now, Malaysia is saying, look, I can deal with everybody except for Jackie. We know that, OG's big beef is with Jackie. Evelyn ain't really rocking with OG. Cece ain't really rocking with Kristen. Kristen ain't really rocking with Cece. OG, I don't know what the hell OG. I don't know what OG's issue is. So, everybody got a little something with everybody else. So, they're getting ready for their first dinner. Like I said, the sky done opened up. It's a monsoon. But the ladies do show up for dinner. They got the bartender. Probably not the best decision. Phoebe ass gets drunk. I mean, she is drunk. Like, she ain't a little bit drunk. She is a lot drunk. And they're having dinner. And you can always tell, well, in this case, a whole lot of them don't have no storylines. But the person that's carrying the bones this particular episode is Evelyn. Now, Evelyn, she ain't really carrying bones. I shouldn't say that. She was the instigator. They're at dinner, and Evelyn brings up the situation with Cece and Kristen. And they go back to Evelyn's skin party, because that was when they had the big blow up. She said, well, I haven't really seen you since, my skin party and the way things went down. Of course, if you remember that far back to the beginning of the season or earlier on in the season, that was when OG let it out the bag that Thomas is not... that Byron is not Thomas's real father, and that whole thing. Now, Cece's thing was, why are we beating this dead horse? Like, it was done, it was said, I'm not going to keep arguing back and forth. Now, here's the thing. For as much as these ladies fuss, fight, and argue, they always want to try to kumbaya somewhere around now, right before reunion, right? Towards the end of the season. But Cece's over it. Cece is like, look, we can coexist. We can keep doing what we've been doing, which is ignoring each other. But I'm not interested in making up with her. I'm not interested in having a relationship with her. Like, I am cool with us just coexisting. Like, I'm not interested. And Evelyn is picking. And so eventually Cece does what Cece always does. She gets up and she walks away. And Evelyn tells her, fine, and just you keep going back to LA then. Go on and fly your happy ass home. They go to when Cece gets up, OG gets up, Jackie gets up, and Shawnee was like, oh, so everybody just gonna leave? It's a package deal? Okay. But they're sitting in the car trying to convince Cece to come back to dinner. So Shawnee comes to talk to her. And honestly, Shawnee's over it too. Shawnee is like, to be perfectly honest about the matter, every time there's a situation, Cece is always ready to run out the door. Nothing's ever going to get resolved if all you want to do is just run out the door whenever there's a conflict. So they convince Cece to come back to dinner. As soon as Cece comes back to dinner, then Evelyn brings up the situation between Jackie and Phoebe and what happened at the cancer thing. Well, Phoebe is drunk. So Phoebe goes all the way off. I mean, Phoebe goes off on Jackie like I've been waiting for Phoebe to go off on Jackie this whole season because, Phoebe been doing a whole lot of BPPPing, you know what I'm saying? Hashtag. But Jackie is like, okay. Sure. Yeah. And for everybody at the table who knows Jackie, they're like, this actually scares us more than Jackie going off. Jackie sitting there not saying anything is really a lot scarier than Jackie going off. And so everybody is just kind of like, we know something gonna happen. We waiting for it to happen. But it didn't happen that night. Jackie gave her a pass. And Phoebe was going in. Phoebe was talking about how old she was. Phoebe was talking about her ears. Phoebe was talking about her always having to wear black. Like, Phoebe was going off. Phoebe was giving it to her. Now, it was drunk courage. It was liquid courage. But Phoebe was giving it to her. Anyway, dinner is over, honey, and everybody goes back to their respective rooms. The next day, we get together, and we have two activities. And one is a gondola ride, which in my mind, when I hear gondola, I think Venice or hell, even the Venetian in Las Vegas, okay? I think of getting in a boat and slowly winding through the canals. I do not think of Costa Rica because I don't mean no harm, but I don't want to get in that water. It's stuff living in that water that people haven't seen for 400 years. There are species in the water because it's down there in the jungle. And there's all kinds of stuff going on down there. No disrespect to people from Costa Rica. It's a beautiful country. But I don't want to be in the swamp. You feel what I'm saying? But when we get there, we realize that the gondola is really like a sky gondola. We wouldn't necessarily call it a gondola. We would probably call it a sky. What them things called where they go across the sky? So that ended up being Kristen, Evelyn, Shawnee, and Jackie. The other group went ATV riding, which they looked like they had a good time. It was OG, well, everybody else. OG, Phoebe. Was Malaysia with? Who was Malaysia? Malaysia was with whatever group Cece was with. Yeah, Cece went ATV. Yeah. So it was Malaysia, Phoebe, OG, and Cece. Okay, that's who it was. And that's important. That's important. So, they do their thing, of course. And Phoebe said, I realized I never really gave OG, a chance. After that whole thing went down about the song and how that whole thing went down, I really didn't give her a chance, but I'm open to it. And they actually were in the car together, and they looked like they had a good time, even though Phoebe thought OG was going to kill them. But it did look like she was going to kill him. And then, Cece and Malaysia. And, of course, Cece and Malaysia are cool. Because Malaysia is just she's really trying to keep the peace through the family thing or whatever. So they're cool. They get to, like, a little mountaintop, and, of course, they do that whole back and forth thing where they show one group on the mountaintop talking, and then they show the other group that was on the gondola. They're sort of at this little lookout area taking pictures, and they're talking. So, to spare the back and forth, the most explosive things that came out was Cece got to talking about Evelyn. Because they asked her about the whole Kristen thing. And Cece was like, look, I can coexist with Kristen, but I have no interest in being Kristen's friend. I'm done. And the night before, I forgot that part, but the night before, Cece really kind of opened up. And Cece's thing was, I've told Kristen some things about me. Kristen knows my secrets. Kristen, I trusted Kristen. And, I've let things slide over the years. She's made little jabs. She's made little comments over the years. I've let it slide. But I'm done. Like, I'm done. And her thing is, I just have no interest in having a relationship with her. I can agree to coexist, but I'm not interested. And I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily say I agree with Cece, but I can see where she's coming from. Like, look, I'm done. Like, I'm not. She said the next person that tries to make me and Kristen make up, I'm gonna kick them. Like, I'm over it. I just have no interest in a relationship with her. Oh, I forgot to bring up the night before that, Phoebe done bought the damn candle back that Jackie gave her when they were talking about, they were at the remember they went to the, y'all know what I'm talking about, the stone place, the gyms, and she bought her a candle there, and Phoebe done packed the candle to give it back to Jackie, honey. And she packed her damn Timberlands. If she ain't damn New York, I don't know what is. Because she packed damn Timberlands. And nobody else in there got some damn Timberlands. Anyway, but back to the mountaintop. I just want to make sure I threw that in there. So, but then Kristen said, but you know what? I'm not even really mad at Kristen, because last night, that wasn't even Kristen that did that last night. It was Evelyn. Evelyn was instigating that. Evelyn was picking at that whole situation. So Evelyn is the one I'm really kind of pissed off at. And honey, she lets it rip. She says that Evelyn is evil. Evelyn's a bitch. Evelyn is an instigator. Evelyn is a horrible person. But then, honey, she called her a hood rat. All I could think when she said it was, Evelyn gonna kill Cece. Yep, Evelyn gonna kill Cece. That's all I heard. After hood rat, I didn't hear nothing else. I heard ghetto. I think I heard ghetto and I heard hood rat. And Malaysia and Phoebe were both defending Evelyn like, no, she's not evil. No, she's not that person. No, she's really a nice person. So they were defending Evelyn, but then over to the mountaintop, you had Jackie going in on Phoebe. Now, she didn't call Phoebe a crackhead. Now, I've heard people throw out crackhead before. It's one of those insults you throw out to somebody who's skinny. Oh, she looked like a damn crackhead, blah, blah, blah. So when Jackie first said it, I took it like that. But then Jackie kept being very insistent that Phoebe is a crackhead. Well, I've heard from a very reliable source. Is it that same reliable source that told you about Malaysia? Because we see how that turned out, and we see who your source was. So who gave you this reliable information about Phoebe being a crackhead and doing Molly? And see, when people start piling on, then that's when I really know they lying. I'm like, okay, somebody don't do 5 different drugs. If they're a drug addict, they're a drug addict. But they don't do 20 different drugs, okay? Then Evelyn was like, look, Phoebe is not a crackhead. Phoebe liked to smoke a little something. She liked to puff, but who doesn't? But she ain't on no drugs, right? So, you know what's going to happen with that information. So, they go back, afterwards, they go back home. And, of course, everybody reports back to the other person what was said about them on the mountaintop. And Evelyn laughs, which I think is it's scarier than her getting angry. Kind of like Jackie being quiet the night before. It was scarier. Then they tell, and Evelyn was like, okay, I am a little hood rat. I could be a little hood rat-ish, but I'm not a fake bitch like Cece is, so I'm going to say something to her. And so Shawnee was like, okay, but Evelyn, you have a tendency to get a little excited, so let's practice now. Let's practice. And damn if Shawnee didn't have Cece down to a T, because Evelyn go ask Cece about the comments, and Shawnee was like, I didn't say that. I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't there. Yeah, on the mountain. What mountain? We didn't go to a mountain. I haven't seen a mountain. Is there a mountain here? And then eventually she gets up and walks away. I said, yep, that's Cece. You got Cece down pat. You know what I'm saying? Then they told Phoebe what she said, and Phoebe was like, what? That's all she got? Because I'm skinny, I gotta be a crackhead? She was like, well, what about you? You've had 20 surgeries and your body's still fucked up, basically. Talked about her butt being lopsided, that she always gotta wear black to try to cover up all her failed lipos. I said, oh, damn. So, of course, now they're going to this group dinner, and of course, everybody is loaded for bed, ready for this dinner, honey. So, Cece, Jackie, and OG get to the restaurant first, and they trying to strategically make sure they not sitting with their back to the door and all this other stuff. And Cece talking about something. We're tired of being kicked around, so if somebody come after us, then we're ready. We're ready. Somebody come after us, we're ready. Child boo. Child boo. And then the ladies show up for dinner, honey. And it gets cut off right before they about to start going at it, honey. And it's gonna be a rumble in the jungle. So that's pretty much what went down. Let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.